Mud. Lots of mud. Seas of mud. Mud everywhere. Hello everyone, this is Gamer1745 and we're going to continue with Strategic Command, American Civil War, but we're playing the Franco-Prussian War DLC, so it isn't quite the American Civil War, of course. Well, we've been plagued by mud here, so we're gonna continue here. We've got Paris fully invested, would be the term. I've been noticing a lot of units popping up here, and so they've been rebuilding their forces. Now, what they need to do is break out of Paris. And for the Paris siege to be lifted, one or more of the hexes with the little blue stars on a pole, sort of the graphic looks like here, has to be pushed back. So yeah, I think right now if they really tried to push here, well, maybe the mud, it might take them a bit, but they could maybe push me out of Saint-Germain-en-Laye or whatever. So we need to reinforce some of these positions. That one is very far back, so we have a more forward position there as a picket. So we can grind on the forces in there to keep them from getting too big. I also want to, and we'll look at some of the railway stuff here in a moment. I don't know if they have the ability to deploy to other parts of France. I vaguely remember reading that there was an attempt to form an army in the south. I don't know that it really happened. I don't know that it's going to show up in this game. Sorry, I'm not the best expert on the Franco-Prussian War. So we're going to continue, have fun with this, and see what we can do. Now, these guys, we're going to mostly just do that to get the railways. Well, I don't know if we have a connection. It's sort of hard to trace. I don't know that we do through the north here, but we'll sort of push a little north. I think these guys will come down here to reinforce the Saint-Germain point. Do that. Yeah, they can come here. And also, I'm still sort of looking around. Let's see, supply. I am worried about that next turn. Okay. So that would be a little supply. And the reason it's just because I think this is like, well, I guess we could go to there, but there would be no supply there. Let's go up here, because that's, at least if we have a, okay, well, now that's looking better now. Well, so the conditions have changed because we've taken this, so that would be better. Is I want to cut rail links so we don't have, if they still have the ability to have units to, have them railed into our rear. And that's sort of partially what we're doing down here as well. Just seeing about cutting rails, then we may move him on the rails. Cutting other rails here, trying to get these guys. We have been moving to attempt to get to a rails that we can get them much further afield. Yes. Our Frank-Tier units appearing in our rear. Which there was quite a bit of, which definitely influenced Germany's behavior in World War I. Okay, now here we have 6th Division here and there, the 10th God Mobilise, sort of, reserve type mobilization type forces here. 3, 3, 4, 3, but we have some artillery shells, so let's be about pounding this force a bit. 2, 5, 2, 4. So let's just use good. And so what I'm hoping that does is lessen the chances of them pushing somewhere else. Also, we got all these guys back here. And I did before starting look, well, you know, we could super reinforce them. We got lots of points. Yeah, let's super reinforce them. Okay, they're not in a good enough position. Neither are these. Okay, so what we're going to do with these guys, we could move them back along the rails and sort of get them super reinforced. Let's move you up to here, I think. Get them over here, move them around to reinforce. Now, probably once we get them onto this rail system, if we really want to, we could see about using some of the rails, but I don't know if they're even connected enough to get them over to here. A little worried about the concept of them breaking out. So let's we have plenty of MPP here, so let's make the units about as strong as we can. Well, yeah, let's move you out. Maybe we're going to switch because that's just a brigade. Okay, well, good, I guess. Wearing them down a little bit. Attacking right now. Let's just reinforce so we can see about maybe in near future swapping out. And that is just a brigade. We probably do want to swap these guys out sometime. They had moved. Okay, well, we're going to move you up there like that. We're going to move, I think, you into there is, yeah, they do have some defensive ability, but by having a line a little further up, I think that would be good. Onto the railways. Here, yeah, let's the 2nd Royal Bavarian Division. Let's see where we can get to it a little more usefully. If these guys are connected to the major railway network, good. Well, these guys come to here, these guys come to here. Probably more just fiddling with things that are mostly not needed. Yeah, okay. Well, if we... Oh, they've already moved. Okay. And they need to guard Mole House, or we'll have that frontier activity down there. Okay. I think that's pretty good for this turn. Let's let the French see what they can do. Something French. Okay. Okay, well, maybe they're going to push on there. They could hit that with 4 divisions. Okay, yeah, hunger. Okay, well, no mud, but we're going to use these guys to continue to push out. We're going to send these guys back. Just because division versus brigade. These guys down here and these guys up here to connect more railways here in the back. That could use connection there. Right, yeah, that could actually. Alright. Here, let's move up. We keep all of the ones fully occupied. Move that into maximum. Get across the river to there. Well, while we're still here, let's... we may not be able to reinforce so well. Next turn. Okay, we're going to swap out the brigade for a division there. The edge of the forest. You come as sort of reserves there. Yeah, you head up this way. We're gonna just get that railway a little more connected. I don't know if any of this is really helping way out here. But hell, video games have influenced me to, you know, connect all the dots, as it were, or get all of the possible good hexes. Okay, well, do we want, I mean, yeah, we can sort of trace rail lines back around this way. Good, okay, so somewhat keep together. Yeah, that sounds fine there. Gosh, damn, I wish I could have made it all the way to the railway this turn. Would have been nice. And where's our frontiers? Frontiers. There they are. We might be able to take them. Yep, we did. Hey. Didn't even need to move them up. Alright. Keeping the supply lines open. move there, yeah, to there. Oh, mud. What do you know? Okay. I didn't know if it was when it was going to end because it is somewhat random as once you get those um, blue star hexes as to when Paris will fall, but we know it would be just eventually. I don't know if it's cumulative per, turn or just, a die roll every turn and you have a, I don't know, 20% chance or some theoretical number. And eventually you'll hit it. Interesting little graphic there. You have the Arc de Triomphe. I've driven around the Arc de Triomphe, and I've also, been there on foot. It's unlike that, which you can sort of see, just sort of looks like it looks like a dirt field. I don't know if that's supposed to be like cobblestones or whatnot there, but now, of course, and I know a lot of people know this. Sorry if this is all repetitive. Um, the uh, there's a roundabout that you drive around it now, and so it's. And I drove around it. God, that was crazy. It's somewhere I would say between 6 and 8 car widths or lanes, if you will, wide around it. And I think it's 5, but I'm not sure, major boulevards, use the French term, streets or whatever, come into it, come straight into it, and it's, sort of designed that way. And if you're going from one to the other, you have to circle around the Arc de Triomphe. And it's not cobblestones, which I keep picturing some of my viewers, if you don't know. No, and cobblestones are like round river stones that are set into the road just with sort of, I don't want to just say just mud, but some sort of, packing material, not necessarily like concrete, just some sort of mortaring between them. But it's more sort of like a brick like paving, if I remember correctly, on it, as opposed to concrete or asphalt around it. And the streets just come into the roundabout that goes around. Now, you don't have to so much worry if you're a tourist, because there's sort of bollards around the Arc de Triomphe, and so there's a big sort of round plaza square that you can walk around. So it goes, I don't know, out to something like that around this whole thing. Supposedly there are ways, I think, to get up in there, but they're not open to the public. I'm not even sure of that. Right offhand. But to get out there, you way over, at the sort of the triangles that are formed by the streets coming in. There are stairs that go down under the road, and you walk, and then you come stairs back up over to here, so you don't have to interact with the traffic. And I'm still not sure. I'm trying to remember. I don't know if the streets that empty into the Arc de Triomphe, if there's even stoplights. There probably are signals, go, stop. But there are no lanes, at least not when I was driving around this roundabout. It's just a crazy roundabout, where some roundabouts, have sort of lanes that basically guide you through, and you got to do some, maybe if you're sort of on an inner lane and you want to get to an outer lane, you do lane changes and whatnot. But so there are no lanes. There's no lane guides. So where the cars are that are coming around this are not um, well defined in that. So you may have one car, a car half a lane from the Arc de Triomphe, if you will, and so there, and then two, a car behind him that's just right at the edge of the Arc de Triomphe, and then what would be the next lane. So this one car is say blocking two cars behind it, but it's all sort of spread out. And I remember doing like 60 miles an hour zipping around this with the flow of traffic, shall we say, because I wasn't like trying to race it, but that's, yeah, okay, 40 to 60 miles an hour. I don't quite remember exactly the speed, but it was pretty quick. And coming up and having to dodge parked cars, in essence, or not parked, sorry. And this was, halfway out from the edge of the Arc de Triomphe. We weren't trying to get like right there, just needed to go around the thing. Stopped cars because they could, somebody was stopped in front of them, or they're the one that stopped trying to go because they're trying to merge to the outer to then go on there. And so, if you can't quite, if you're like in the middle of all of this chaos and you realize, oh, I want to leave off this boulevard. Oh shit, I can't, well, some people sort of stop and try to work, or making people stop to go off, where really what, of course, you're supposed to do is keep going around it and sort of spiraling to the outside until you can get there, So if you're like from this boulevard, and I know a lot of you Europeans know this, but this is sort of for my American friends, so if you're from the street over here and you want to go to the street to the south here, you sort of kind of, hit the outer bit and go. But the problem with if you're from one to the next, sort of a soft, okay, great. But this street here that's going this way may be blocked up, so you can't quite go. So this is all stopped up here on the outside. And so the inside you can go. Now, the problem is if you're, or sort of inside / middle or whatever, if you're in the inside / middle and you want to go to this one, it's all jammed up, so you're jamming up more people. But maybe on the inside it's going fast, so you come in here, and then now, so if you want to go from here to maybe the street equally opposite of it here, so you want to bypass one or two streets, so when you zip and then zip out, it's total fucking chaos. I'm surprised there isn't more fatalities every single day on the damn thing. It was crazy. And there was some dude riding his bike up one of these boulevards, some old dude, right out in the middle of the traffic, not like along the edges of the street, not just like, fuck it, I'm going down the middle of the damn, middle of the damn road, riding his bike slowly while these cars are zipping by him. And there's somewhere between some painted lanes to no painted lanes, depending on the boulevard you're on and whatever. So total effing chaos around it. But yeah, as a tourist, you'll be in a big tour bus driving around it, and then they'll go park off on some boulevard area, sort of where they're sort of supposed to park, and then you'll get out and you'll walk back up, and then you'll go, underground, and then pop back up. And be right here and get your touristy photos. And it's it's sort of, I do believe it was built during I'm not sure, but during, Napoleon III's reign, sort of hearkening back to all the triumphs of Napoleon I's reign, battles. And this looks like maybe some protective stuff that they had put up, the French, because the city was being, bombarded by heavy artillery to sort of protect it. But yeah, that's sort of my little stories about the Arc de Triomphe. I've seen it a few times. Been to Paris 3 or 4 times. I don't know, something like that. But yeah, just driven around it once. More than enough, unless you want to do, thrill driving. Okay, well, I guess this is going to be the last episode, obviously, of this series. I'm doing a Mexico playthrough, first being broadcast on Slytherin, and will be continued will be posted here. So if you're interested in the Mexican-American War, DLC for this thing, or just generally the Mexican-American War, that series will be coming up. I don't know if things are going to be popular enough if I'm going to go into like the Franco-Mexican War, the French invasion of Mexico, which is well after the Mexican-American War, which is the 1850s, well before this war in the 1870s. It was in the 1860s is when Mexico goes into, or France goes into Mexico. So yeah, I guess that's it. Yeah, hey, I hope everyone got a call to action. Lick the like button, and if you're new, smash the subscribe. Post a comment. I wish some of these non-Hearts of Iron games were more popular on my channel. I love playing other historical periods. So I don't know what's going to catch on, but hey, post your suggestions for games you want to see played that are historical strategy type games. Love to just see them, if nothing else. Whether I end up playing them or not, I don't know. So thank you, everyone. See you for the next, video of whatever it will be. Thanks.